Welcome to the Backlash at Backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mecklin, and in this video I'm going to read from my 2012 article, The Origins of the Men's Rights Movement. The full article is linked below. Quote, "Let's get one thing straight. Richard F. Doyle is the founder of the men's rights movement. A lot of MRAs have never heard of him, which is a shame," close quote. Masculist man, the real father of the men's rights movement. 2012, Olympia, Washington. I used to enjoy teasing Richard Doyle, who billed his newsletter, The Liberator, as the only legitimate voice of the men's movement. I responded by saying that my newsletter, The Backlash, was the only illegitimate voice of the men's movement. I don't know if he ever got the joke. He frequently complained about all the organizations that were trying to be king of the molehill. That, along with Susan Faludi's book Backlash, is what inspired me and the rest of the group we called the Gang of Six to start the Backlash. Where others promoted their own organizations, we promoted everybody else. In his article, Masculist Man noted the discord that characterized the men's rights movement in those days and that we need to learn from it. He's right, and the lesson can be very beneficial to the individual organizations and groups today. Where are we? There we go. When we started the Backlash, Warren Farrell was getting airtime, and his book, Why Men Are the Way They Are, was getting a lot of attention too, but it was all very limited. Feminists dominated even more than they do today. But within a year after we started publication of the Backlash, even though we were busy promoting everybody else but ourselves, we quickly became the go-to guys of the men's rights movement. We weren't really prepared for that. Unfortunately, it also made us a target and we weren't prepared for that either. The mainstream media attacked us much as they attacked A Voice for Men and then Rouge. We were just a bunch of regular Joes spreading word about organizations that were standing up for men. We did not have the means to defend ourselves, and it took a toll. When Richard started, there was no internet. When we started, the internet was so new that having a connection at home was very rare. Today we have a web that governments around the world, including the United States, are trying to sanitize, and not in a good way. There are a lot of men's rights and fathers' rights groups and MGTOW doing good work today, but the problem remains that far too many are wasting their time attacking one another. When I resumed working on my website about 5 or 6 years ago and began to reconceptualize it, I wanted to return to the roots of what the Backlash had been. Several members of the Gang of Six, the group that originally conceptualized the Backlash scene, are dead. Some died before they turned 60, some even before they turned 50. Few remain today. Men's rights activists need to take care of their health. At 50, I was headed for an early grave. Now 62, I'm healthier than most people in their 40s, and I do it on the cheap. Imagine a manosphere in which our most experienced and savvy leaders were not forced to the sidelines or an early grave by personal health issues. Money is also a big issue. Feminist organizations and programs have hundreds of millions of dollars to work with. Meanwhile, we have the loose change in our pockets and the scraps we manage to beg. Imagine what we could accomplish if the men's rights movement had the support of dozens, if not hundreds, of millionaires. Politics ties them all together. Both major political parties cater to feminist organizations and the feminist agenda. The liberty movement is gender neutral. Liberty works for both women and men. Imagine what would become of the feminists' female supremacist programs if their political and governmental support evaporated because libertarians took over. The man who started it all, Richard Doyle, used to complain that everybody should support him. Feminists laughed as the infighting cut the men's rights movement off at the balls. Today I see a lot of videos of men's rights activists and MGTOW taking pot shots at each other, and I can assure you that when they're not shrieking about how offensive men are, the feminists and their other social justice warriors are laughing at you for that too. Libertarian-like, I think having one or two big organizations comparable to the National Organization for Women and Ms. Magazine is not a good idea. I'd rather see hundreds of men's rights activist groups, thousands of anti-feminists, and millions of MGTOW all raising their voices in a deafening roar of protest that cannot be ignored. I'm doing what I can. How about you? That's all for now. Check out the other videos. Subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mechelen.